I'm at 19111 Braebrook in Chesterfield County, and I'm going to check a few things for the realtor. Front measures 41 feet. All right, so it's 42 by 24. This is the rear steps off the deck. The inspection report is calling for the handrails to be completed, similar to this. So we need to put the pickets and the bottom bar on there. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. The wood will be new salt treated, and it can be stained, but it can't be stained right away. It needs to dry out for a couple of months. This is right at 6 feet, and the top rail on this one also needs to be replaced. That's a 2x6. And we are also missing the pickets on the front porch. I just came into the crawl space. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start down at the rear left quadrant and work my way along the rear of the house, and I'm going to check the sill plate and the joist in this area, and then I'm going to come back and check the center beam. The joists are 2x8 and they are 16 inches on center. Okay, I'm noticing that there is no vapor barrier in this quadrant. I'm at the left rear quadrant right now. I just saw a black widow there. I'm going to be very careful. I'm poking along with my screwdriver, and this area seems to be okay. Here's the vent. Mainly just discolored from droppings from the spiders and what have you. I'm working my way down. All right, so I am on the back of the house. I'm in the back left quadrant. I'm between the foundation vent there and the crawl door there. And I put my screwdriver in to the sill plate right there, and it just sank in without any resistance at all. So that is one. I'm going to see how long that is, and then I'm going to go on the outside to see what's called. Okay, and that area spans about 6 cinder blocks from the crawl door. So I can take that and measure it off on the outside. Okay, and I'm checking the band board as well, because that sits up on the outside of the sill plate. The joist butt up into it, and the band board is also very rotten. And that joist is rotten there too. So, one. In order to fix the joist, we've got infrastructure to deal with. We've got pipes, electrical, drain pipes, more electrical, main electrical, and ductwork. That's a second joist that's affected. And when we get to here, the rod appears to stop. So it starts about 3.5 cinder blocks in and ends about 6.5 cinder blocks in. I'm seeing a lot of this creature down in here. There is some vapor barrier here right at the crawl door, but it's not very thick, and it's not stapled to the ground. The rest of it does not appear to have vapor barrier. I am on the rear right quadrant, right here where the hose faucet thingy comes through. I haven't seen any more rot. I'm going to keep working my way down. Okay, I came all the way down on the back side. I don't see any more rot on the back, just the one spot. Going to go up to the center beam. I'm on the front side of the center beam, at the front right quadrant, right here where it goes up against the foundation wall. I prodded that. I don't see any problem with that. We got some discoloration here. I'm going to prod. The center beam is discolored. It's a little soft, but I would not say it has failed. We could lay another piece of center beam in right alongside it. The heating ducts are damp to the touch, and that is from the humidity in the air. Going to go back to the center beam. All right, this is the underside of the center beam. It's wet to the touch. I have water dripping on me right here from this insulation. probably due to humidity in the air. I'm prodding the center beam here. It is a little soft. I wouldn't say it's failed. We probably need to put another 2x8 or 2x10 or whatever that is alongside of here just to shore it up. And I also recommend that we take this heating duct and physically move it away from the center beam, because it's just setting up all kinds of condensation because it's cold. And anywhere it's cold, the humid air is going to hit it and it's going to stay damp. I've moved up. I'm kind of about in the center of the house now, and I'm finding the same thing, but because I'm closer to the HVAC unit, it's more obvious. All the wood in this area is cool from the HVAC unit. The moist hot air is coming and it's hitting it and it's condensing it, and it's just, you can just see the water in this area just dripping off of everything. You can see the water droplets right here dripping off of everything. I'd say in here mainly what we need to do is get the vapor barrier down. That will control some of the moisture in the air and get some ventilation going. Probably 2 or 3 fans that are attached to the vents that are controlled by a humidistat. So once the humidity in the crawl space reaches a certain level, we can dial that in. The fan will kick on and it will move air through the crawl space until the humidity level falls back down to an acceptable level. Because we're in Central Virginia, we do have a hot and humid climate. So sometimes those fans will stay on for weeks or months at a time. But they do, have a proven effect on controlling the humidity in the crawl space. So that's what I recommend. Here's the situation with the rot at the sill plate and band board. It starts right about here with the air conditioner, and it probably ends right about here. So water, in all likelihood, is getting in here between the deck, maybe down in a void like that. It's running down. There's probably little or no flashing, maybe inadequate flashing. And it's just a place for the water to get to, and then it's following gravity. So the way to fix that is we have to make this deck freestanding from the house, and we have to repair the band board and the sill plate from the outside, and then we will give the deck its own support system so that it's not physically attached to the house anymore, and there would be a gap, an inch gap or so between the deck and the house, so water would not have a place to penetrate. So that's what we need to do there. And that area there is about 7.5 feet. I just went back to the deck and I prodded the base of the post, and I found 5 that were really almost not there once you get down below grade. And then we have to replace the 2 up there by the house. So at least 7, possibly 9 4x4 posts for the deck.